All right, everybody, you know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, and we thank God for those of you who have tuned in to join us here on various platforms. Big shout out to those of you who are listening on the legendary WIGO Pacesetter 1570 AM on your dial. Also, you can listen to us, as you know, or you may not know, online at WIGO1570.com. You also can take us with you. You say, how do we do that? Well, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is download the free TuneIn application. Let me just shorten it up for you. The free TuneIn app. It's a free app. Download it. Put in WIGO 1570 in the search engine, and voila, you'll find us broadcasting to you right here and right now. And remember, follow us anywhere on social media at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. That's how you can follow us anywhere on social media. We're there on Instagram, YouTube. We're also on Twitter or X, whatever they call it now. It's so crazy. And you also can find us even on TikTok. We're on that too. So you got Real Talk Sports and number 7. And yeah, man, you can find us there. It is fantastic that we're able to broadcast on all these different platforms. Also, a big shout out to those of you watching us on the tele. That's right. I know those of you who are watching on the tele on the big screen, you're doing it probably via Roku. And that's right, we're on Roku too. Go on the Tiki Live, put in Phoenix Entertainment Group, and bam, you'll find us broadcasting to you again, like I said, right here and right now. So we are excited to be on all of these platforms. We appreciate all those of you who support us, especially those of you who support us on the archive or replay. Thank you, and thank you for doing so. All right, it was a big night of high school football last night in the state of Georgia. And as you guys know, we do the live stream broadcast from Tara Stadium, which is located right in the heart of Clayton County. And we had one for the ages last night. Two of the best teams in the county, Jonesboro and Lovejoy, squared off for seeding in the playoffs for the first round. Now, I had thought that the winner of the game was actually going to get a home game for the first game, but both teams were actually, no matter what they did, they could not finish first or second, so that means they would be on the road. But nevertheless, they played like everything was on the line. It was a game to remember. Final score was Jonesboro 36, Lovejoy 30 in overtime. Absolute thriller. Yeah, went back and forth, big plays, exciting game. Certainly the fans got their money's worth and more, and it was really what high school football is made of. The Jonesboro Band is one of the best bands in the land. They do a great job of trying to got myself on echo now. They do a great job of really performing at the highest levels. As a matter of fact, they will be going to the Macy's Parade next year, and big shout out to them because, like I said, again, doing some big things in the county, and like I said, now even in the nation. So big shout out to the guys at Jonesboro for their victory last night. Again, 26-20, a thriller a thriller. Went back and forth. Like I said, again, big plays by both teams. Actually, Jonesboro had scored repeatedly on big plays, but actually were backed up. One time they scored a touchdown on 3rd and 17. I think another time they scored when it was 4th down. But to their credit of Lovejoy, for every punch that Jonesboro threw, they threw one back at them. Jonesboro actually had taken the lead in the game and was up 22-14 with probably about 7 or 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. And that's when everything kind of turned in the other direction towards Lovejoy. Lovejoy was on the move, attempting to tie the game, actually got it down to about the Jonesboro 4-yard line, could not score. And so now Jonesboro had the ball at about their 4. But as you know, when you get pinned back in your own end zone, oftentimes bad things happen. Jonesboro could not move the ball at all, was forced to punt. Punt was blocked. And Lovejoy recovered the punt in the end zone for a touchdown. Then they got the 2-point conversion to tie the game, 22 all. But wait, there's more. Jonesboro got the ball back again, found themselves pinned deep in their own territory. And guess what? A safety. That's right. In the span of about 4 or 5 minutes, the game totally went and shifted in the favor of Lovejoy. So now Lovejoy had a 24-22 lead. And it looked like, we're going to have an absolute thriller, but not the way it turned out. Jonesboro, again, could not move the ball. I think they turned it over. Lovejoy gets the ball back, marches down to score. Now they're up 30-22 with about 2 minutes left to go. And then Jonesboro done what they've done in the past. They found a way to make it happen, marched down the field, and with less than a minute to go, Jonesboro scored a touchdown, and then the tying 2-point conversion to send the game into overtime. And the place was absolutely going wild. It was senior night for Jonesboro, and it was really very, very exciting to be there. It was one of really the best games that we covered. And once we went to overtime, well, it ended quickly. Lovejoy had the ball first. They ended up turning the ball over on the first play of the game. That's right, the first play of the game. Lovejoy turned the ball over. Jonesboro got it back, went in for the score, and thus the final. Jonesboro 26, Lovejoy 20. So great things that went on there. And we got to give a big shout out, as we always do each and every week, to our title sponsor for high school football. That is my employer, Allen Vigil Ford in Lincoln. We're located right down here in the heart of Clayton County, 6790 Mount Zion Boulevard in Clayton County. And we're going to have actually one of our managers come on in just a few minutes to talk to you, because I know you guys have been stressed out about, getting a car, and you're like, man, everything's went up through the moon. Prices are so expensive. But good news. Even though the prices are expensive, we have a way to save you some money. The manufacturers, Ford Motor Company and Lincoln, have brought back rebates. They brought back some special financing. You saying what? I'm telling you, this is the truth. So we're going to have one of our managers pop in and talk to you a little bit about that. Matter of fact, I think she might make an early entry. Now, this young lady is very, very experienced in the world of car sales. She was a salesperson herself, later elevated to manager. She actually did what I used to do, what I do now, commercial sales, great background there. And I guess it's our version of Blonde Ambition. We're going to bring her on in just a minute, guys. We're going to take a break, and then you're going to hear from Suzanne Moore, one of our desk managers here at Allen Vigil Ford, to tell you about some of the great specials that we have going on here at the dealership. So we're going to an early break. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. Don't go nowhere. Please, we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
Back here, and there she is right here, Miss Suzanne Moore, one of our sales managers, and she tells me, just give me the mic, because she's got a ton of good news for you. So we're going to hand the mic over to her right now.
All right, we're looking at rebates on everything. Ford, Lincoln, we've got a lot full of new cars. Our used car inventory has never been better. If you or someone else is looking for a used car, come get from Allen Vigil Ford and Lincoln. We certify, we inspect, we do a mechanical inspection on every single used car that goes out here. So you know when you're leaving, you're in a vehicle that someone has looked at and you can count on to be of top quality. Rebates on everything. We've got Broncos, we've got Explorers, we've got Expeditions, we've got F-150s, we've got Lincoln Nautilus, we've got Navigators, and we've got a lot full of Corsairs. So come on down and see us here at Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln. I got to go. Working a Navigator
She's
deal.
working a deal right now. Now, did you hear what she said? To rebates on everything.
Everything out here. If it doesn't have a rebate on it, we're going to put a rebate on it.
All right, here you go, guys. That's remember, ask for me, Jonathan Simmons, or ask for Suzanne Moore at the desk. She's got some great deals for you here at Allen Vigil Ford. Remember, we're located right in the heart of Clayton County, 6790 Mount Zion Boulevard. She's got to go because she's got a customer trying to take advantage of one of our good deals.
Come see us.
There you go. Like I said, guys, great stuff going on here at Allen Vigil Ford in Lincoln. We're excited to be here this morning. Like I said, again, I am a commercial rep here as well. So please, if you need a vehicle for yourself or your family, come down and check me out. We got some great deals going on. Like I said, rebates on everything, as you heard her say that. We also have special financing. So if your credits be good news, you can take advantage of our special financing program. We have some vehicles here, believe it or not, that the rates are in some cases as low as 1.9%. What? That's correct, 1.9%. So again, how can you do that? Well, let me put it up on the screen right here. I'm going to put up my personal information here. So please call me only for serious inquiries only. Here it is right here. Bam, 678-410-9833. You can hit me up, text me, or call me on the cell. You're also going to send me an email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net. And like I said, again, we got great deals here at Allen Vigil Ford. And we always give a big shout out and thanks to them for being our title sponsor for high school football. Well, speaking of high school football, we're going to go back to that for just a second. We got a chance to interview one of the key players last night. Let's see if we can crank that interview up. A very, very excited Jonesboro player after the game talking about the big victory over another top Clayton County school, Lovejoy. Here we go. Six, you're going to introduce himself to you right now. Go ahead.
My name is Montez Redding. I attend Jonesboro High School. I play wide receiver, class 2024.
Now, what does it mean for you to get this big win at home, senior day, overtime over top opponent like Lovejoy?
It felt great. It meant a lot to us. Like we work so hard in the all season. When the season starts, like we run, we make sure everybody body right. Even though I went out to a hip injury, I knew my teammate was gonna still pull through.
Look, how can people follow you on social media?
You can follow me on Twitter at Montez Redding and on Instagram at one.luhtez.
Good job, young man. Congratulations on a big win.
Thank you.
All right. You see, guys, it was a lot going on back there. Very, very exciting again to be a part of that and to see these young people come out and do their thing, and especially on what they call senior night. For those of you, I know some of you guys are like me. You might be an OG, so high school maybe was 40 or 50 years ago. But the thing about it that's interesting is you remember those days and those games. You remember the sights, the sounds, the fun you had with teammates. Even those of you who don't play, remember being in the stands and cheering on some of your friends as they came out there and did the best they could on the field. And also the cheerleaders, the band, everything was epic for high school football. So just good stuff and great stuff going on. We're going to take a little bit of a break. Like I said, I'm here live at the dealership, so we'll be back with more. Here is an interview from last week. All right, guys, we're on the field post-game. Jaguars, for the second week in a row, win a big game at home against Holy Innocent. We have a young man that's going to introduce himself to you right now.
Hey, my name is Ramondo Craddock. I'm number 0, DN, the tight end from Stevenson High School.
Listen, man, the first half you guys were dominant, but it seemed like kind of Holy Innocent got their stride in the second half. What was the key for you guys making a big stop, especially on that fourth down play to end the game?
It really is just our endurance. Like, we work hard in practice. We run a lot. So I feel like at the end of the game, they were kind of gassed. And, like, we just had that extra win, and we prepared for them. Like, we prepared. We had these 2 weeks. See, last year we were sick. We didn't get to prepare how we did this year. But, you know, we got these 2 weeks to prepare. We ran. We worked hard. And it really came through at the end of the game to help us out.
What does it mean for you to have this big night on senior night?
It means the world to me, and I'm not even a senior. That's the thing. Like, I really did that for my bros, like my senior. That was for them, for real, for real.
All right, well, how can people find out more about you, social media, please?
They can follow me on Instagram at D1_Ramondo4 and at Twitter at Ramondo Craddock.
The Big O and his defense held him down. 21-14 Stevenson. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir.
Win from last week. We had a chance to actually go up to DeKalb County and cover a team that is having one of their best seasons in years. That's the Stevenson Jaguars. They took down a very tough private school, Holy Innocents, a team that's beaten them, really like to say, beat the brakes off them last year. But this year, Holy Innocent came to Stevenson's home field, which is Halliford Stadium in Stone Mountain. And the Jaguars returned the favor, winning 21-14, holding on with a goal line stand at the end of the ball game to secure the victory. And now they find themselves, I believe, hosting a home game for the first time in years at their stadium in Stone Mountain. So, yeah, guys, if you get a chance, please support your local teams. These kids, as you heard the young men talk about how hard they have to work, how much time and energy they put in. And keep in mind, on top of the practice, on top of all of the drills and the study for film, these guys got to go to class. And they have to get good enough grades, not only to be able to stay on the team, but more importantly, to graduate from high school and to be eligible for scholarships. So if you can, please, ma'am, please, sir, support these young men. If you can't go to the game, most of these schools have booster clubs. Support the booster clubs, because here's what happens. Believe it or not, the schools really have to rely on sponsors to take care of most of the expenses, especially food and drink expenses, which, as you could imagine, trying to feed 50 or 60 football players would be a pretty big undertaking. Water, all these types of things are things that the school have to cover. So if you are a sports-minded person, if you want to see young people achieve both on and off the field, support your local high school. Even if you don't have kids, pick out a local high school, support them, go down to the athletic department, and they always have availability there. They can tell you who to write check out to. Make sure it's to the athletic department of the school, not to any person. I'm just saying. And you will find that these few dollars go a long way. And not only that, I will tell you this. If you decide to sponsor with us here at the Real Talk Sports Show, where we bring you sports from a different perspective, guess what? When we go to cover these games, we use a percentage of that to give back to the schools. We actually will present a donation to the schools, and we do this at the end of each and every game. And we give something, a little something to the winners and the losers. So again, if you sponsor this show, you sponsor some of the stuff we do in terms of our live coverage of games, you can rest assured that some of those funds actually will be returned back to the actual teams themselves in support with a small donation. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can get a little clip of this. It was kind of hilarious because at the end of the game, literally, I have to leave the upper parts of the stadium where we're doing the filming and then make a mad dash down to the field to be able to give some money to the coaches at the end of the game. So I'm gonna try to see if we can get this. It's kind of funny, and you'll see me kind of dashing down here at the end of the game. And let's take a peek. We'll get it loaded up in just a second. And I think also while we're waiting, I do have some information about some of the seating. My good cameraman friend, Jason Huttigan, who normally would be on the show, but he's not able to join us today because he's getting ready to travel to places unknown. He has sent me over via text, I believe, some of the seating here. And let's see if we can blow this up here. And here's what we got. It's kind of scratchy here in 6A, but some of the matchups are going to be good ones. We got River Ridge and Waswell up in the north end. Here's the game that many of you guys are going to be interested in. We got Brunswick against Mundy's Mill. Mundy's Mill was the number one team in Clayton County. They will be, looks like, hosting a game. Yep, looks like they will be the host. I believe I'm reading this right. Yep, they're hosting a game, and it looks like it is Brunswick. If I'm reading this right, it was written in magic marker. So kind of got this at the last second. All right, let's go here and see if we have that film of me trying to give the coaches some money after the end of the game. I think we have it. And this is what it looks like when we give a donation post-game. Sorry about my bad writing, Coach. My finger's getting a little numbed up here. Yep. Let's get this in the pocket here. Put this away like quick.
No. No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about what Don just said. He said something out.
It's a long story.
Yeah, we got back on here. Okay.
Hey, Coach Floyd. Good job today, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, one of the things we always do is on behalf of our sponsor, we'd like to present you a small donation here. Thank you very much, Coach, and especially on behalf of Allen Vigil Ford, our primary sponsor. Congratulations.
Thank you. We appreciate it. It's gonna help us out a lot.
No doubt. Thank you, Coach. All right, let's get this. Coaches are always very appreciative. It's not a lot of money, but as you just heard, they appreciate every single dollar. So again, rest assured, if you are able to sponsor, even on a small level with our show, we'd love to have you be a part of what we do and giving back to the community. We're always looking to outreach and do some good things, if I can speak English, in the community. You can reach us here at the Real Talk Sports Show this way. You can send me an email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or you can give me a call, 678-410-9833. You'll be shocked at how reasonable our advertising costs are. Even if you just say, look, I want to just put my name on your website, we can start you as little as $25. And again, your investment is in, first of all, good, clean sports talk. We ain't got no cussing. We don't have any huge arguments back and forth. We don't do any of that stuff. Occasionally it gets a little intense as we cover sports. But more importantly, each and every week we bring on to you the good news that's going on, not just on the field in terms of top quality games, but get a chance to see the young athletes and also get a chance to hear other people around the world of sports in terms of what they're doing good in the community. And speaking of that, I had a chance to go to the Atlanta Touchdown Club. For those of you who don't know, the Atlanta Touchdown Club is the second oldest touchdown club, only behind the New York Athletic Club, who are the folks that give out the Heisman Trophy every year. And so each and every month during football season, they are kind enough to give out awards and sponsorships to some of the top players across the state. And they bring in some of the great speakers from around the world of sports. And last week was no exception. This guy's actually going to be part of what we call our Falcons Flashback. We normally do that at the end towards our football coverage for NFL, but we're going to let you hear from him. But first, we're going to let you hear a little bit of an interview that I did with a good friend of our show. And this was at the high school football awards that they do here in Atlanta, celebrating top Georgia high school football players from the past. Here we go. All right, guys, so I've interviewed a lot of Hall of Famers tonight, but I got to tell you, this is a little close to me. As you guys know, remember the Real Talk Sports Show, Kent Swilling used to be on the show with us. He could take time out of his busy schedule. And tonight, he now has officially got the blue jacket. Now, he couldn't be with us tonight because the back is bothering him a little bit, but we have the offspring, his son right here. Introduce yourself to everybody, please.
Hey, my name is Joshua Swilling. Of course, like you said, I'm the son of Ken Swilling. Good to be here. I wish he was here, but it's good to see him get an award, get honored for all his accomplishments. It's always good to see him get an award like this for the statue. But I wish he was here because it would have meant more to him to be here with me as well.
I know that hopefully next year when they come out, that he'll be able to come out here and enjoy this himself.
Yes, sir.
And also, I think I saw another Swilling up there getting an award as well, right?
Yes, sir. My cousin Pat Swilling got an award as well. Good to see him as well. I haven't seen him in a long time, so it's always good to catch up with family. And congrats to him as well.
Yeah, definitely a big night. The Yellow Jackets were very proudly supported here. We had Lucius Sanford also getting an award, another Georgia Tech alum. But we could not leave this building until we said congratulations. Captain, you watching? We appreciate you, sir. Congratulations.
Congrats. Love you.
There you go. Young man, again, thank you so much for joining us. Okay, guys, we got to go home. We've been here for like 19 hours. That's not true. We've been here for a minute. We got to go home. But we could not leave without shouting out our good buddy, Ken Swilling, and also his cousin Pat, who won the award tonight. Excitement there. Again, these are some of the things that we covered, and we got a chance to see some of the legendary former Georgia high school standouts on the football gridiron. I didn't know so many guys played here high school football in Georgia. I mean, guys that you would not believe, Super Bowl winners, legendary players, guys like Guy McIntyre played for the 49ers. Otis Sistrunk from the Raiders played his high school football right here as well. So, yeah, man, just fantastic to be out and about. And like I said, again, your sponsor dollars help support us as we support local high school football. And at some point, who knows, we might expand to around the country as we get help. Well, like I said, again, great stuff going on here. I'm going to get you guys the seatings really quickly. Like I said, we had a we got this text to us. And just to let you know, guys, here on the South Side, what is happening here from teams on the South Side, where they might be headed. As I mentioned to you earlier, both Jonesboro and Lovejoy will be on the road. Jonesboro will be traveling down to Glenn Academy. They will be playing Glenn Academy as they open up, trying to advance into the second round. Last year's state champion, Langston Hughes, will be hosting North Forsyth. That will be held right at their campus in South Fulton. Let's take a look again at more teams from the south side of Metro Atlanta. Lovejoy will be on the road. They'll be going down to Effingham County to play them in their first round. Another team here on, I guess we call them in the Southern Crescent, so South Side, Douglas County, a team you guys got to watch. Outstanding team, won their region. They'll be playing Habersham County, hosting that game at Douglas County. Woodward Academy, another staple on the South Side, right here in College Park, right near my home. They'll be hosting a game against Evans County. So look out for them. That game is, again, right at their beautiful field over at the Woodward Academy. So check them out as well. And let's see, we have one more here, I believe, hosting a game on the South Side. It will be Monday's Mill will be hosting Brunswick. So if you guys get a chance, that game will be held at 12 Oak Stadium. Going down to check out the guys from Monday's Mill. They have one of the best teams in Clayton County. Matter of fact, they were the best team in Clayton County. They only lost, I believe, 2 games all season long. And they were ranked number 2 in their region. So they'll be hosting a game against Brunswick. So again, guys, support high school football. These young men would love to have you come out there and support their games. And that's our wrap up and lineup here for what we have going around in high school football. Great stuff, good stuff, and lots of fun. Lots of fun. So if you can, go out there and check them out while you can. It's a big slate. And this is going throughout all of the state of Georgia. There's probably about, hundreds of games that you can watch. So check out who's playing in your area. Check your local newspaper and going out and support your local high school teams if you can. Please, ma'am, please, sir. We're shifting a little bit now to basketball. Pro basketball, the NBA is back. And your Atlanta Hawks, our Atlanta Hawks, after a lumpy, bumpy start, have now righted the ship, and they are showing the potential, now, I'll put a word here, potential, of a team that could finally make some noise again in postseason play. I was very disappointed. They lost their opening game to Charlotte on the road. Now, Charlotte has kind of been their nemesis over the years, so I guess I can kind of let that one go and chalk it up to that. But it really has been a situation where that they should have won that game. And then they came here and laid an egg at home, losing to their arch rival, the New York Knicks, and now found themselves in 0-2 and facing a possibility of being 0-3 for the first time in like 30 years. And I got to tell you, we were kind of going off the rails. I'm not going to lie. I was very disappointed at what I saw, lackluster play. And then here's the thing that's always bugged me. I really like Trae Young, exciting player. It was must-see TV when he was doing his thing in the playoffs a couple of years ago. And I guess this is the nature of the beast. We're asking for these players to be candid and to be forthright. In the interview after the Knicks game, he was like, well, we got a new system and it's a lot for us to learn. And then he said something about we were tired. I'm thinking to myself, dude, the season just started. I mean, literally, it just started. How can you be tired? And coupled with comments we've heard over the years about, hey, the regular season is boring, I'm like, man, come on. But as they normally do, when they have to play a big-time opponent and their backs up against the wall, they shock the world. So the Hawks, after going down 2-0, found themselves on the road to play the Milwaukee Bucks, who many people think are going to be the representative for the Eastern Division in NBA Finals. They went up and beat the brakes off them, 127-110. Dominated the Bucks and held down their newly acquired all-star Damian Lillard and held him to just 6 points. But wait, there's more. They came back home and took on a Minnesota Timberwolves team who's also given them troubles over the years, found themselves down by about 16 in the first half. They then turned on the Jets, held the Timberwolves to only 34 points in the second half, including just 15 in the fourth quarter, and won that game going away. And then, to cap it off, to let you know it was not a fluke, the Wizards, a team they should beat. But as I mentioned, the Hawks have a tendency to play down to the competition. Hawks said, not this time. Dominant performance by the Hawks. They win 130 to 121. Score does not indicate how lopsided the game was. At one point, the Hawks were up by 26 in the second half. So kudos to the Hawks for turning things around and getting things done. DeJounte Murray has been a beast. A beast. He dropped 41 points in the big comfort behind win against the Timberwolves. Popped up with 23 points again in their win against the Wizards at home. And he is really showing why the Hawks picked him up and made that big trade to bring him into Atlanta. Also, the young guys are balling out, especially Jalen Johnson. This could be a star in the making. Jalen Johnson, now he hasn't had any real huge games in terms of points, but he has been a stud as far as his contribution to this team. He's done it all. He's a good defender on the wing. He is an exciting, explosive, over-the-rim player. Had a huge dunk to kind of cement and put the capstone on the win against the Timberwolves. And this guy just brings energy. And that's what the Hawks team needs is energy, because sometimes they seem to be a little lackluster. So, again, keep your eye on the Hawks. They will be playing the Pelicans tonight. Pelicans start off their season very nicely. Looks like Zion is back. Pelicans are 4-1. Hawks go into this game 3-2. But like I say again, winners of 3 straight games. So this should be a good one here. Hawks find themselves 3rd overall in the Eastern Conference. So again, stay tuned for more coverage as we are once again credentialed for the entire year to cover our Atlanta Hawks. And we look forward to bringing you guys some great coverage from down there on the scene. All right, guys, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back on more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Don't go nowhere at all, please, because we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our #1 priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net. The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice.
The Real Talk Sports Show as we broadcast you live from the offices of Allen Vigil Ford in Lincoln, and they are our title sponsor for high school football. You just saw that they have a great assortment of vehicles, Ford and Lincoln's, brand spanking new, ready to go. Everything that you like, the Ford Escape. If you like Lincoln, the Lincoln Navigator, we have plenty of those in stock. We have the Lincoln Nautilus. We have the full complement of Lincoln products, and we have plenty to go. If you remember last year this time, we had all dealers were squinched on inventory, nothing to choose from. Good news. Good news. We have brand new vehicles here on the lot in array of colors, features, price ranges, and more good news for you. Rebates and special financing if you qualify are back. So again, come on down and check us out at Allen Vigil Ford in Lincoln. And we're located at 6790 Mount Zion Boulevard in the city of Myrtle, Georgia. Now, I got a little special for you. If you come down today only, and buy a brand new car, we will have a $100 gift. What's valued at $100 for you if you buy a new car today. You got to make sure to say you watch on the Real Talk Sports Show, and you got to ask for me, the minister, Jonathan Simmons, and we will have a $100 value gift for you if you buy a new car today or used car today from WA. And wait, there's more. If you, in fact, refer somebody, you get $100 if they buy a car. So that's right. Call a neighbor, call a friend, tell them going down to the Real Talk Sports Show. You come on down to Allen Vigil Ford, ask for me, Minister Jonathan Simmons. And if that person buys a car, now remember, they have to mention you and say that you sent them down. But if they buy a car, we have a $100 check, cash money, waiting for you for your good referral. Now, again, if you want to contact me, I'll make it easy. I'll pop it up on the screen here right now. Text me, call me, 678-410-9833. I'll be in the office today until 3:30, and we'd love to serve you. Or if you can't make it today, I'll be available all next week. But to get your $100 gift after purchase, you got to come in and buy the car today. And if you refer somebody, same thing. If they come in today and buy a car, $100 for you, my friend. Well, let's shift over here to college football. And the college football rankings are out for the college football playoff. And we got a little bit of a curveball, little tiny bit. Even though Georgia thumped their arch rival Florida, the folks at College Football Hall of Fame rankings said we want to change things up a little bit. Georgia drops from number 1 down to number 2 as the Ohio State Buckeyes at 8-0 are now ranked number 1 instead of top of the college football playoff rankings. Keep in mind that's college playoff football rankings, not the rankings overall like AP or UPI. Playoff guys rank them number 1. Georgia now drops down to number 2. The Florida State Seminoles are at number 4, and Michigan, who is under allegations from the NCAA, drops from number 2 to number 3. So your top 4 again as follows. The Ohio State Buckeyes ranked number 1 for the college football playoffs. Ranked number 2, the Georgia Bulldogs, the not one but 2-time defending champions. Number 3, the Michigan Wolverines, who themselves have been in the college football playoffs the last 2 years. And number 4, the resurgent program of the Florida State Seminoles. I guess to some degree back where they belong, up at number 4 in the rankings. Right behind them, 8-0, the 5th and final team that's undefeated in terms of the big power conferences is the Washington Huskies at 8-0. And right behind them, a team whose only loss came to the Washington Huskies, the Oregon Ducks at number 6. So we got them spread out pretty good. 2 teams from the Big Ten, 1 team from the SEC, 1 team from the ACC, and lurking in the shadows, not 1 but 2 teams from the soon-to-be defunct Pac-12. And you know what's crazy about this? This takes you back to a few years ago. If you remember, the Big 12 ran into the same situation where they had Baylor and TCU battling to see who's going to get into that Final Four as well. So it's going to come right down to it. And good news for all of those of you who love college football and love competition. Next year, it goes to a 12-team playoffs. So teams like the Alabama Crimson Tide, who right now for the first time in years finds themselves sitting outside of the top 5, they would be in. They would be in the playoffs. So again, keep it locked and keep your eyes peeled because this is going to change because Ohio State has to play Michigan. So one of them are going to have to lose, and one of them is surely going to fall out of this top 4 ranking. And that will probably open the door for Washington if they remain undefeated, or in fact, maybe Oregon as we move later into the season. So it's going to be very, very interesting as we go through this season to kind of see where it all pans out, who's going to get there. But like I said, everybody I think is to some degree looking ahead to next year when we'll have 12 teams in and we'll be able to see more teams get involved here in the postseason, which to me personally, I think they should have really left it at 12 games. I mean, 8 teams. I think that 12 is too many. I don't like the idea of having a bye. I just think that, it makes more sense if everybody, like they do with the bowl games, has time off. This is me personally. I just think that everybody should kind of do it that way. I don't like the idea of a bye. Sometimes teams get rusty. I know people say, well, teams get a chance to heal up. I'm not a big fan of that. But anyway, let's go to the overall rankings here in college football. Now, in the AP, it looks a little different than college football playoff rankings. So I'm going to go to the AP poll. Georgia, number 1. Michigan, number 2. The Ohio State Buckeyes, number 3. The Florida Seminoles at 4. Washington, 5. Oregon, 6. The Texas Longhorns, 7-1 at number 7. And the Alabama Crimson Tide, whose only loss was to the Longhorns of Texas, at now up to 8. They were ranked number 11 a little while ago. Penn State getting their first loss. They're at 7-1 at rank number 9. The Oklahoma Sooners, a bad loss to the Kansas Jayhawks last week, has now knocked them down to 10 overall in the AP polls. And right behind them, the Mississippi Rebels at 7-1, number 11. Notre Dame, who's lost 2 games now, at number 12. LSU also loses of 2 at 13. Missouri, watch out for these Tigers. The Bulldogs better watch out for them. They host them today. Tigers, very potent offense, ranked at number 14. Only 1 loss in the season. Louisville, also at 7-1, 15. Oregon State, 16. Air Force, 8-0, ranked number 17. Utah Utes, 18. Tennessee, 19. UCLA, 20. Tulane, the Green Wave, I think they're called, at 21. Kansas, after that big win over Oklahoma, vaults up in the top 25 at 22. James Madison, another undefeated team who cannot play due to violations in any bowl game or postseason game. They also are undefeated, ranked 23. The USC Trojans at 24, and Kansas State at 25. So that wraps up your top 25 in college football. Like I said, again, everybody's going to have their eyes peeled here in this area to the Georgia-Missouri game. Georgia, like I said, again, undefeated, has not lost a game. I think they're 24-0 over the last 24 games, but they're going to have the work cut out for them against the Missouri Tigers. The Tigers battled them last year and almost shocked them on their way to the championship. So it's going to be a big test. And one of the guys who's going to be very influential in that test is the guy I met. I did not realize that this gentleman was an outstanding player in Georgia high school football. And all eyes will be on him and his ability to call a good game. This is the offensive coordinator for Georgia. You'll see him in a little bit different light. Here he is. All right, guys, I'm on the scene here for the Georgia High School Hall of Fame. And this guy you guys already know, but I'm going to introduce himself to you right now. Go ahead.
Mike Bobo, Thomasville High School, class of 1993.
Now, see, Coach, I had no idea that you were Georgia through and through, sir.
Yeah, I'm all about high school football in the state of Georgia. My dad was a high school coach. It's a special night for me tonight. One, I got inducted to the High School Hall of Fame, but just the guys that were inducted tonight, I grew up watching my whole life. Guy McIntyre, who you just interviewed before, is from Thomasville. I played on Guy McIntyre Field growing up in Thomasville, Georgia. When I was in the 4th grade, he came to the lunchroom, and I got an autograph from Guy McIntyre. Made my day that day, and I wanted to grow up and play at Thomasville High School because of Guy McIntyre. And then to be inducted in the Hall of Fame the same day is unbelievable.
It's got to be cool for you because it's from both ends. Not only guys that you grew up watching, but so many guys you have coaching.
Oh, I know.
What make you feel to see all these guys, Rennie Curry and some of the other great Georgia Bulldogs out here tonight?
Well, Rennie Curry came up tonight, linebacker from Brookwood. I had that area, recruited him. I always made him wear boots when he came on a recruiting visit because he wasn't very tall enough. And he had success at Georgia, and his parents, and they used to feed me those hot peppers on official visits. And then DJ Shockley, man. I broke down when he came up tonight. I started crying. Just ambassador for the state of Georgia. Everything he means in the state of Georgia. I love DJ Shockley and have a chance to coach him and get to know his family and his dad, mom, brother, sister, now his wife Portia and his kids, and to see him get inducted tonight, just a special time. Quincy Carr, Jarvis Jones, Charles Johnson, Adam Meadows. I was an average player and got to surround myself around a lot of good players. And to see them have success, whether I played with them or coached with them, is very humbling.
It's going to make you feel good. You're part of a season that you're working to be legendary, trying to get that third one in a row. But yeah, Coach, we just wanted to stop and say hello to you and say congratulations. And if you could, please, we got a big Georgia fan back at Allen Vigil Ford. Kevin Smith, look.
Where's Kevin? Where are y'all from?
Allen Vigil Ford. We're right down the south side. Actually, we're in Clayton County, so it's
Y'all
big
are
for
Ford
us.
dealership.
We're a Ford dealership, yes,
All
sir.
right. What's his name?
Kevin Smith.
Kevin. I know you're a big Georgia Bulldog. And I want to say go Dogs. And I have 5 kids. They all.
This, we got to give a big shout out to our coworker Kevin Smith, and he's a big Bulldog fan. So we wanted to have our offensive coordinator from the University of Georgia give him a big shout out. Well, listen, guys, you can be a part of the Real Talk Sports Show. You say, how could that happen? Well, if you have a compelling sports story, if you have a great player, if you have a coach that's doing some things, not just on the field, but off the field, we'd like to have them be on our show because, as you know, we bring you sports from a different perspective, one that talks about the good news of sports, not always the bad news. So here's how you do it. Hit me up. Email me, jakesimmons@realtalksports.net, or simply give me a call, 678-410-9833. All right, we're going to take our final break of the day. You're listening to the Real Talk Sports Show on platforms all around the world. Keep it locked right here for more of our show. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Thank you.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports. What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our #1 priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net. We're watching and listening to the Real Talk Sports Show as we get our final segment. Again, big shout out to all of those of you who decided to tune in and join us here on this wonderful Saturday morning here. It's our first Saturday in November. So I know many of you are getting ready for the holidays already in terms of Thanksgiving. And I know some of y'all even done some Christmas shopping before Black Friday, because they started Black Friday back in October. I'm just saying. Well, you know how we wrap up every broadcast. We talk Falcons football, and there is now, I don't want to call it changing the guard, but certainly a move, major move by the head coach. He has decided to do something that many fans have been clamoring for, is he's made a change at the quarterback position. Desmond Ridder will head to the bench temporarily, I believe, and hometown hero, Taylor Heineke. Hometown, he grew up right up the road, played his high school football at Collins Hill, the same school that produced two-way star from Colorado, Travis Hunter. So this is a guy that is excited, hometown hero. I know that he's got a ton of fans that will be supporting him in his first start for the Atlanta Falcons, and it will be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium this week against the Vikings, who have lost a star quarterback, Kirk Cousins. I believe he might be out for the season with a severe injury. So the Falcons, once again, will have the opportunity to play against an untested quarterback. That did not work too good last week against the Titans, as they were torched by their rookie quarterback, lit him up. I'm talking about young Mr. Levens, a guy who now, I will admit, was originally
scaled to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft, fell down because of who knows what. But the bottom line is he showed why he was a top 5 pick, and a lot of people thought initially he might have been the overall pick in the draft, number 1. Lit up the Falcons, hit them up for 4 touchdowns, and exposed what could be a weakness, their one-on-one coverage in the defensive backfield. He had, once again, the blown coverage on defense, and he threw not 1, not 2, but 4 touchdowns as the Falcons go down to the Titans 28-3. But the silver lining in that game is what we are going to be seeing, hopefully, this week. Now, we don't want anybody to get injured or get hurt. But Desmond Ridder, after, unfortunately, another lackluster performance in the first half, was injured and replaced with backup quarterback Tyler Heineke. And Heineke did what he did with other teams like the Commanders and the Eagles. He lit it up. 12 of 21, 175 yards and 1 touchdown, and almost got the Falcons to victory as they posted 20 points in the second half. They could not get it done in their final drive and ended up losing 28-23. But under Heineke's direction, the Falcons' offense looked crisp. It looked correct, and there were no nasty turnovers to turn the tide of the game against the Falcons. So, Coach Arthur Smith, realizing the Falcons are in the hunt for the playoffs right now because they play in a very weak NFC South. The only real contender, I believe, will be the Saints as they're starting to find their form. They both have the same record at 4-4. But there's an opportunity now at home to win a ball game and get the Falcons back on a path where they can stop winning 1 or 2 and then losing 1 or 2 and actually go on a small winning streak. Taylor Heineke bringing some energy in that second half. Like I said, again, the team clicked, and he made a couple of dazzling plays, not only with his arm, but with his feet, kind of doing some following his hero. He said his hero was Brett Favre, kind of do some Brett Favre things, ducking in and out of pressure. If you remember on that drive where they cut it through 28-23, had that Houdini-type dash and underneath and squiggle and squirm and got his way down to a manageable 4th and 1, which the Falcons picked up on their way to a touchdown. So Taylor Heineke is in. Desmond Ridder is out. Coach Arthur Smith has emphasized repeatedly this is a temporary situation. And a lot of people who watched my broadcast on Tuesday said, Minister, you are a Ridder fan. You a hypocrite. You're a turncoat. Not really. If you listen to what I said during the broadcast, I said repeatedly, one of the things I liked about Ridder is that he had experience playing against top-level competition in college. He played in bowl games against the Alabama Crimson Tide and Georgia, both teams on their way to national titles. They were outmanned and outgunned, but at no point did he look that the game was too big for him, and more importantly, had no turnovers. Fast forward to the last 3 games he played with the Falcons. He had 3 interceptions and a half that cost him a ball game, and then turned around and had 3 fumbles that almost cost him a win against Tampa Bay. And then even in the game that he was knocked out in the Titans game, he had a fumble in that game. 7 turnovers in 3 games. No, and no. That I can't endorse. And I feel that, again, when you are trying to win games, this is not, you can't coddle people. This is the NFL. This is a very physical sport, tough sport, and it's very difficult to win in the league. So you have to put your team in the best position to win. Now, the other thing I said about Desmond Ridder, I felt that Coach Arthur Smith had been calling plays that were not best suited for young Mr. Ridder to perform at his optimum. And that's something that falls on the coach. I felt that they had a way too complicated scheme. Oftentimes, you looked at Desmond Ridder, he looked like he had a deer caught in the headlights. He looked like he was overthinking, even he said it himself. And I think that is an indictment against Arthur Smith, who to me was trying to be too slick. You know, when asked about the Falcons running game, I remember Coach Smith making the comment about, well, we don't want to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust. He also made a statement about, well, we're not playing military academy football. Who cares if you're winning? If the Falcons were, last year, they were number 3 in the league in rushing. They were averaging over 150 yards a game. Why stay away? Why go away from that with a quarterback who is, I don't want to use the term game manager, but his strengths are not throwing the ball downfield. His strengths are not really throwing the ball into tight windows yet as a new quarterback. So do the same thing he did with Matt Ryan when he first came. Get yourself some studs, which they have at the running back position, and run the ball so that your play action is really effective, where you really can get some open receivers downfield. We're not asking them to throw in the tight windows, and you put them in a position to succeed. But no, Arthur Smith did not do that. So Desmond Ridder now is on the bench, and they're putting in a veteran quarterback who understands how to run the system, and I believe can be efficient in helping the Falcons now get on a consistent winning track. Now, last but not least, this does not mean it's the end of the road for Mr. Ridder. The other thing I pointed out, and I was mocked, and people were like, how can you compare him to Terry Bradshaw? Well, interestingly enough, Phil Simpson on his show made those same type of references. And what are those references? The fact that even Hall of Fame quarterbacks like a Terry Bradshaw in his prime, like a Joe Montana, who was on the tail end of his career but still was playing pretty good football, like the story of how we got Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe, who had been an all-pro quarterback, who had set the record for most attempts in completion of the Super Bowl before Tom Brady broke it. He got injured. Tom Brady came in, and he couldn't get back in. I think he came in for one more game after that, and he was gone. But he later went on to continue his career. I mean, players get benched. All pros, Hall of Famers. Why did they get benched? Because of, what did Coach Smith say last week? He said that Ridder was not benched due to performance issues. Well, if he wasn't, then Coach Smith must be blind. Because Ridder, even though his percentages were not bad, he just was a guy that was not able to be consistent. He turned the ball over too much. So it clearly is Heineke time in Atlanta. And so the young man once again get an opportunity to show his gear and what he can do. Like I said, again, he's done this before. He replaced a guy who was a top 3 pick in Carson Wentz. Remember Carson Wentz? He had just come off an MVP type season, but he wasn't performing well. And then he got hurt. And Taylor Heineke came in and got his team to the playoffs. Matter of fact, Taylor Heineke came in last year and helped the Commanders beat the Falcons. So what am I trying to say? I think this young man has got great potential to get the Falcons over the hump, to get them in a winning situation. So again, no disrespect to Ridder, but it's about winning. Let's go to social media real quick. Our good buddy from way up north, Mr. Sullivan. Sully says, oh, shucky ducky, we back in this. He's in the building. And Sully, we appreciate you. And we did not forget, we are overdue to come on up there to your hamburger joint up in Cummings to get a good meal. And who knows, maybe we can do a show live from his location up in Cummings, Georgia. So again, guys, we appreciate all those of you who have been watching and listening to us, especially those who have been listening on WIGO, which is the legendary WIGO, Pacer 1570. We got to go. We're turning it back over to the hands of our producer, Lady E, who cannot join us on the air, but she is back in the building. So please stay tuned to WIGO 1570 on your dial and keep it locked right there. And for those of you watching on social media, we want to go to it one more time. Sully says he will be at the game. I will be at the game tomorrow, so you guys try to find me. I will try to make myself available somewhere in that main portal, but I will be there. My brother will be attending the game as well. He's a big Vikings fan, and we got tickets for him. But look, guys, one thing I always like to do before I end this show, because it is a little different, I'm a real live minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So before I get out of here, I always want to do the same thing. I want to remind you, if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, please, ma'am, please, sir, get to know him today. Why? Nobody loves you like Jesus. He died for your sins and rose from the dead. And here's the good news. If you repent of your sins and believe that, 2 great things happen. Number 1, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number 2, you become an adoptive child of God with all the rights therein. That now means you can go to God like a heavenly parent, ask him for what you need or desire, and he'll give it to you. And when you die, you go to a happy place called heaven and not that nasty place called hell. I don't know about you, but I like option number 1 instead of option number 2. All right, everybody, until the next time we get back together again, God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, whichever may apply. So long.